Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time of the day it happens to be for you, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the second weekend of the broadcast for the Trackmania Games 2026, where the action continues today. It's been continuing all week as well. We'll talk about the results that have come into us over the course of the week in just a second here. Before we do that, let's say hello to all of the people joining us for our broadcast today. First of all, we have two people, three people, maybe four people who have not slept very well, but one person who I know for a fact is going to have a great time today. Twiggy, how you doing?
I'm doing.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah, late at night for you, getting ready for a long day of mixed duo competition. It's going to be great. Action's going to keep you awake at the very least.
I mean, we'll see. It's still prime time, 9:30 p.m. And looking at the format, looking at these teams, I don't know. I might be able to get to bed at a normal time for once, and that would be. Let's get some PBs, guys. Let's get some world records. Let's just keep it moving.
Yeah. And I mean, Padster, there are a couple of players that we're going to be keeping our eyes on. We'll talk about them later, but it's looking like it might be a good day for Great Britain.
I'm not going to complain at who the favourites probably are. You know, if you had to look at how the mixed solo event went and who may have come first and second in that, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Absolutely. Well, things are going to be very exciting over the course of the day. And of course, if you want to feel a little bit more involved in the action, head on over to our partners at Trackmania. Pick'ems are still live. I'm not going to ask any immediate questions about how everyone's done, but things I think are going interesting, you know, in terms of how the leaderboards are starting to shape up. I think 82% of people had France in their top five. France currently not at the top of the leaderboard at the moment. And, you know, we'll see. Great Britain, a long way down that leaderboard for a lot of people, depending on where you look at it. I mean, hey, you look at full speed, you look at tech solo, you look at mixed in particular. A lot of people picking GB up at the top there, but I mean, in general, a lot of people thought France were going to be doing a lot better than they are doing coming into today as well. There is our overall leaderboard after 1 week of competition as well. GB sitting comfortably up at the top, Germany in second, France in third, and Netherlands in fourth place at the moment. And Formal, I'd have to say, I don't think there's any major surprises coming through just yet. I will add, I don't think... There's what? There's what?
Australia. I found them.
Oh, there's Australia.
Yeah.
I will say, I don't think that our medals have been added just yet for the pathfinding to this leaderboard, which has finished and is something that we will talk about in a second, because that's going to shake the leaderboard up just a little bit.
I mean, yeah, we're still kind of waiting for things to be finalized. I imagine judges going over runs, verifying everything is A-okay. But look, first weekend come and gone, and it was a great weekend for the British drivers. I'm sure Twiggy, Padster, you're each probably super happy, super proud of yourselves about how things went, but that's a third of the way through.
I'm proud of the guys. I'm proud of the guys. To be fair, look, we've got a banger kind of mixed lineup. So I was on the I probably won't be doing it today, just energy levels wise, but I was screaming, I was jumping about in the room. My neighbors hated me that day.
Yeah, understandably. Well, we'll see if they hate you today, Twiggy, because let's take a look at the schedule as we have it coming up as well. Reason, I think, for the players from GB to celebrate potentially is we will be kicking off the mixed duo tournament. First thing we're doing today, later on in the afternoon, Fast Learn and Full Speed being played at the same time. And later tonight at 8 p.m. CET, that's Cup of the Day +1 for those of you working off Cup of the Day time, the trial map will be released. So Pathfinding ends, trial map Time Attack will be opening it later tonight, and looking forward to seeing how the players do on that one as well. I think a couple of countries will be eyeballing that one and potentially looking to make an impact, Padster.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It's quite a different event to some of the others. So, yeah, I'm not sure how GB are gonna get on it. You know, personal bias.
That's true. The team currently at the top of the leaderboard maybe not looking as closely at that event as they are at some of the others that are kicking off today as well. But one of the events that will be kicking off is, of course, that pathfinding. So let's talk about it just a little bit more. An event that's finished rather than kicking off. Finished last night. Pathfinding has wrapped up. Pathfinding was a particularly fun event, I think. Playing in this Olympic Village map, players had 1 week to try and figure figure out where they were going and then set the best run possible they could on the lines that they found. And Formal, I mean, we had Gex here last week from Australia talking a lot about it. Unfortunately, Australia, I don't think made it very close to the top of the leaderboard. But, and I will remind everyone at this point, because there are a lot of, say, French players in the top 10, in the top 15 as well. Only the top 3 players from each nation were able to count top 32 players scoring points.
You know, it's a good thing Gex isn't here, all right? Because I got privy into the Australian chat, and Gex was in that chat. And if you want, I don't want to point fingers. I don't want to accuse anybody of leading the team astray. But Gex was trying to submit ideas for runs, and now we're not even in like the top 80. Not blame, but no, it was cool. It was cool to see how like countries were coming together, graphs were being made, diagrams, maps, you know, different ways to code, how it was all done. It really was sort of a community building event, and that was what made it special. I think everybody had a good time on the Australia side. I can't speak for the other teams because I did see the message that was being posted, trying to rally the people for the British side. Some British propaganda being posted about right there, and I'm curious what they think on it.
Yeah, we definitely will have to. I mean, hey, things got complicated towards the end, is all I think we can really say about that one. Things changed up a little bit. There's several different flags represented in the top 10 of the pathfinding as well. Ultimately, Norway have done very well out of the pathfinding event. 4th place, 6th place, and 8th place. Levon, Virtual, and Kvik all making it into that top 10. That'll be big points for Norway, who, Twiggy, I think would have maybe been looking at a couple of the events that have already come and gone. RPG, of course, still ongoing as well, but this was a team that maybe would have hoped to place a little bit higher. I think Tech as well was maybe something they would have targeted a little bit with the lineup they had. This is maybe their first big result to get 3 players into the top 10 of pathfinding.
I mean, they're a talented team. It's just that they're, they're up against the likes of Team Germany, Team France, even Team GB, who, currently on top of the leaderboard. But I don't think anybody is really looking at them over Team Germany or Team France over the course of the whole tournament. So I think, Team Norway will be very, very happy with that result to just keep them in the standings, at least in the top 10, if not in the top 5.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think what we're going to do is, just to show everyone for the first time live on broadcast what the Olympic Village actually looked like, this track that the players were everyone racing through. Here are the top 5 runs from the pathfinding event. And Patzer, I have to say, I think we're expecting to see pretty similar lines from everyone here.
Yeah, I think that the same route was essentially found by everyone. Certainly everyone within those top 10. And I think we're seeing it now, but no one's really deviating. It is just, everyone found the same route. You could definitely see that certain teams maybe found it earlier, although you said there's several flags in the top 10. As only the top 3 from each country are counted, it's actually the minimum possible number of countries in the top 10. Because it's 3 for Norway, 3 for Germany, 3 for France, and then potentially a bit of a surprise result with Slovakia getting the win. They probably would have been targeting, Tech as probably their biggest event, and they've ended up getting more points from pathfinding, which is a nice surprise for that team.
Coming up to the turn that always got me. This was the part that always got me right here. Getting this launch, how they get the speed for that. All right, everyone hits it clean. Also, I'm strikingly concerned that this is not the route that Australia had.
You're saying that all of Gex's theory crafting didn't work?
I'm saying Gex may have led me astray on this one. I don't know.
So do I dare ask, where was the highest placed Australian player with their route?
Did they do it upside down?
React to the entire time on the ceiling.
I'm going back to the stand. Let me see. Come on, please tell me. When I last checked, we were like in the 70s, and now we're not.
Well,
no, we're not.
There you have it.
No, we're not.
Just to talk a little bit about how things were, ultimately the top 5 ended up being very close on the pathfinding. I think expected when you have 1 week to find it. You have all of these players and all of these top players from every country working on routes together as well. One of the things that's really interesting to me is how it was those really small adjustments, Twiggy. It was the small little things that made a difference. Corners that one team had missed that you could keep wheels on the ground on occasionally. I mean, we saw Severely Papette was ahead for a lot of the first half of the track. And then there was just one jump where the other 4 teams managed to keep wheels on the ground, and the French team hadn't quite figured that out.
Yeah, I even saw one where there was like a roof bonk on one of those jumps, where the one where you have to release to go under the checkpoint or one of the jumps. You could roof bonk on the bridge below it and then kind of gain more speed through that part. So there were places where, teams were just gaining. Once you have that correct route, and everybody has kind of agreed that it is the best route, at the very least, those 3 countries have agreed that it's the best route, plus one more. I think it is all just down to optimization at that point, and then when it comes down to brute forcing it, how many players have you got? How many hours have you got at your disposal? I think a lot of people in Team GB I saw were saying like, well, I have a job, so there's not much I can do.
Yeah, that's how it goes, unfortunately. Well, the pathfinding was super fun. I think a lot of people, there was, as has been said on this desk, there was a lot of communication, a lot of community building as well that went on during the event, and I think it's been a lot of fun for everyone. Ultimately, Slovakia walking away with the only non-French, German, or Norwegian car in the top 10, and they managed to win the whole thing. So congratulations to Superiorly Puppet for taking that one, or not Superiorly Puppet, excuse me, Rizo for taking that one down. Let's talk a little bit about the events that we're actually going to be watching live on the broadcast today, because we have 3 events on broadcast today, all of them super exciting as well. Let's kick things off by talking a little bit about the Fast Learn event, one that is going to be super entertaining, one that I think, Padster, a lot of everyone's favorite streamers have been targeting as the event that they want to do well in during this event.
Yeah, I think there's so many game modes that streamers like bingo, kind of the survival challenges.
Random map challenges.
Random map challenges. Sorry, escaped my name for a second. And, as these are kind of what they play on stream, they're quite good at them. So I think for maybe more casual viewers, this event will have the most recognizable names. And I'd expect the likes of Scrappy, Bren, Lars to all be doing exceptionally well on it.
Yeah, it's going to be super interesting. I mean, I think, Twiggy, one of the big things that stands out to me with the Fast Learn is that you kind of have a completely different... I mean, it's true for all of the seeding events versus the main events, right? I mean, seeding is kind of time attack on the rounds on maps, and then you go into like the actual head-v-head matches. But with the Fast Learn in particular, you're playing this relay mode in teams of 3 on the seeding, and then you're going into the bingo mode. I mean, Padster mentioned it there, something that a lot of our favorite Trackmania streamers have a lot of experience on is that bingo mode, but they got to get through seeding first, and that relay mode going to be a little bit interesting for seeding.
Yeah, I could see, some teams that are looking to be really, really good at that bingo, just, learning it quickly as possible, could maybe miss out on it. Obviously, there are going to be teams that are going to get cut anyway. That's how seeding works. That's the whole point. But then, I'm interested to see if there are any upsets early on, and then, we have to, they'll have to watch other teams kind of take their glory from them.
Yeah, and I mean, it really is a thing, Formal, that you need 3 strong players, right? The relay requires that all 3 of your players drive through a track they've never seen before as quickly as possible. So, I mean, maybe you front load it, your strongest player up at the top, you kind of go with your weakest player at the back. They have the most time to kind of see the track, to figure out what's going on. But it's going to be interesting, and I'm going to be interested to see if we have any of the strong teams potentially dropping because they've one player who's just not keeping up.
I mean, I see it, like, I agree with you. Send the strong player first, learn the map, pass on the information to the others. But realistically, if I'm doing this thing, I want teams to have more than 3 people. Yes, you have 3 drivers, but you need somebody going to like the other streamers' Twitch channels and seeing what tracks they're doing, so you know how to like counter that when you get to the bingo. Like, get the espionage, get the spying going on, because as you all mentioned, this is the streamer one. This is going to have the big names. They're going to have the channels. Strats are going to get leaked, and I want somebody on that relaying that information to my team.
Yeah, I mean, Padster, then we get into bingo mode. Quick explanation for anyone who might not have seen it before. You watch Trackmania streamers, you've seen this before.
I may have jumped ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, bingo course. You get a board, each one there's tracks, and you've got to try and you get the tile if you get, I'm not sure whether this is using gold or ore for time. But you get a tile based off that.
Hey, we'll figure it out when we're watching it live.
We'll find out. We'll find out. But then you can steal the tile back from another team if you go and beat their time. So it's a lot of trying to work out what tracks you reckon you can get good times on and how quickly you reckon you can get those good times. And you get a real mix of, sometimes you'll get like proper competition maps coming in, and then you'll get altered Nadeo nonsense as well. It's a proper mixed bag.
It is. It's going to be entertaining. And of course, then you have to get a line on the bingo board. There is going to be an allotted of fixed time for the matches as well. It's worth pointing out that if no team has gotten a line before the match was going to end, whichever team has the most squares on the bingo board will be the winning team. Sorry, Formal, were you going to say the same thing?
No, I was just going to say, like, if you're watching at home, just some advice for you guys. Find your friends, steal their monitors, set up a wall with 25 monitors up so you can watch each track at the same time. Optimal way of watching the bingo. Just say it right. Get every single track down packed. You're good to go. You're good.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. We're looking forward to that one starting off this afternoon. The other format starting this afternoon, Twiggy, it's full speed. We're getting into the full speed portion of the competition. A style that, I don't want to say one of the more insular communities in Trackmania, but there are players who really love full speed, and they are here in force for the Trackmania games.
Yeah, exactly. It's a love it or hate it kind of thing. It's just always so... I've never been good at this, right? Because it takes such fine control of the car, and I am so clunky when it comes to driving, right? You got to get everything right to try and maximize as much speed as possible over the course of the whole thing. And I do think there are people that just shine in that kind of situation. We'll see it. But yeah, some countries don't really have like a full speed player. Some countries have, the full speed player, right? They're like, it's really, really kind of either here or not.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of countries to kind of have the full speed player, Formal, I mean, maybe the chance for Australia to put some points up, but I think it's going to be super interesting watching. I mean, it's Mutta. We're talking about Mutta, right? Like, I mean, kind of the guy that people have known as the full speed player for a long time, but there's a lot of kind of younger full speed players who've maybe popped up in the last couple of years who people outside the full speed community may not know as well as they know Mutta. I mean, I'm thinking Josh from the Great Britain team as well has been doing incredibly well in that style over the last couple of years, and I think the competition is going to be really exciting to see because of that.
Yeah, I mean, again, not to mirror off yourself what you're saying, Mutta, of course, the one favorite event we have down here is this one. Brits, I'm sorry. Yeah, Josh is great. Josh has been fantastic, and his climb has been fun to watch. You guys are already winning too much. Please just let us have this one. All right? Like,
Cool.
Come on now. Let's we already had Mutta have to do ice.
That you were talking about last week, Formal? It's just the Southern Hemisphere begging the Northern Hemisphere to let them win events? Is that what we were on?
I expected more from Argentina last weekend, all right? South America let the Southern Hemisphere down, but Oceania is going to bring it back up. We're still friends with them, all right? Africa, you're still cool too. We're still all unified, but...
Yeah.
We're going to get gold in that event, and the rest of you need to lift your weight, all right? If we're to rise up and take over the North.
Yeah, Patser, I'm going to ask you a very open-ended question here. I'm very sorry. Who else are we missing in the full speed? I mean, who else are we looking at? Are there any names that are kind of springing to mind?
I'll be honest, I hadn't followed full speed for a while, and last week I was sat in voice chat with Josh, and I read out my pick'ems, and he just started laughing at me, going like, "Oh, that person hasn't played for years." But if I do need to pull up one name, Della Luna is a big favorite from France coming up. I think, yeah, a lot of expectation on them to do well. So.
Absolutely, and again, kind of I mean, Australia looking to get a big result with Mutta in the full speed, of course. I mean, France, they've kind of been getting the short end of the stick compared to Germany and to GB when it has come down to the head-to-heads in a lot of these events last week. So having a very strong full speed player, keep an eye on that later in the evening as well. But again, there are a lot of very good full speed players. Looking forward to seeing how that one plays out as well. We got to talk about it now, though, because this is the event that we are going to be covering first of all this morning. It's kind of, in some ways, the event I think a lot of people will have been most excited for, because it is a format we have seen a lot of over the last 3 years. It's one where we know who a lot of the big names are, and we know that it is one of the premier events in Trackmania. That's right, we're going to talk about Trial again. No, I'm joking. It's Mixed Duo. We're talking about Mixed Duo, and we are looking forward to seeing how the Mixed Duo plays on out. We got a sense of it last week, Twiggy, with how the Mixed Solo went.
I mean, Mixed Solo was absolutely amazing. I mean, right down to the wire, but the top 8 was all just wonderful. And let's just keep in mind that the top 2, in fact, were one of the Team GB teams here. In fact, Team GB2 is Epos and Bozbez, and oh god, it's looking good. But no, every one of these matches was such fun to watch. It always is with Mixed. There's a reason why it has been part of the kind of format for quite a while now in terms of Trackmania esports, and in terms of the duos format, it also just adds a little bit more to the excitement of it, right? It's not just one player going for the fastest times. There is a little bit of kind of you're expecting both to do well.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are some teams that we can keep eyes on then as being kind of in that range, being teams that we know both of these are excellent mixed players. One of the things I want to highlight before we start really going into which of these teams we're looking at, our eyes are on today, Padster, is the fact that this is the kind of TM World Tour format, you know, I mean, 2v2, no other teams. But instead of the points limit of 10 that we all know and love from that format, we do have a points limit of 15. A little bit of a response to the fact that with the Trackmania games, we only have 3 tracks because it was trying to make sure the players didn't have to learn 20 tracks if they were playing across 3 different formats or whatever. How do you think that's going to kind of change up these matches? I mean, it's best of 3 in every match, but it's first to 15 on each track instead, which is something we've not seen before.
I think it's going to be interesting. I think there's certainly been times where I've watched a format and one team has come out the gates very quickly. Like they've landed on the track very immediately, driving well, and the other team maybe has a couple of scruffy first rounds, maybe doesn't score any points to begin with, goes down due to an ace or 2, and then they get into rhythm of it. And I think perhaps players who aren't used to dealing with short warm-ups, aren't able to hop into a track quickly, could benefit from the fact they've got a bit longer to get into it. So we'll see who that impacts. I don't think it'll have a major change, but yeah, I would expect that over the course of the 15 points, teams are going to get a little bit more dialed in.
Yeah, absolutely. Formal, one of the things I want to mention, it's going to be a long, long day for Mutta today because he is kicking things off in the mixed duos and then is going to be playing full speed later on in the evening.
Yeah, I mean, time zones are going to be a factor. It's going to be a factor for everybody. I mean, it's not like everything is incredibly catered to EU either. I mean, you guys have to wake up before noon to compete in this thing, and that might be throwing some people off as well. So, but that's just the nature of the beast, right? This is, if you want to compete in a bunch of events, that's how you do it. It's why I think Mutta actually gave up on the ice. I saw somebody mentioning that, which kind of makes me a little bit sad. But yeah, for people in Oceania and, you know, where we are, it's going to be a late night. For people in America, it's going to be very, very early wake-ups, early running. They're not loving life either right now. So it just means there's an asterisk every time, like, Britain wins something that they can't overcome.
But they have Greenwich Mean Time on their side, so...
Yeah. Yeah, that's, I don't know. I mean, given that France, Germany, all of the other European nations also playing on the same time zone, I think maybe not so much of an asterisk. However, I think, look, we've alluded to it, Formal. I think GB are probably the favorite. I'm not even going to say one of the favorites. I'm going to say the favorite coming into this event. The EPOS x Bozbez team coming into it. Ranking in solos. They came first and second. And Twiggy, I think part of the fun of it was that there was no team orders that came through in that match at all.
Not remotely. I mean, there was a moment where Bozbez was on finalists, and this was genuinely the finals of the whole, like, the top 4. Bozbez was on finalist, and EPOS went, well, I guess it's my time to go then, and won 3 rounds in a row to get first over Bozbez, and then Bozbez managed to finish it off after everybody else was on finalist. But yeah, it got down to the wire, and EPOS really held back no punches on that one, and I think that's what made it so great, is that it wasn't just, okay, Bozbez, you go ahead, you take it, we'll hold back for this one.
Could have been a little bit of an awkward team environment this week, I think, if Bozbez had ended up down in 4th place. You know, had been caught by both of the other players competing in that finals as well. Luckily, not how it worked out. Patser, one of the things that stood out to me on that graphic as well was, first of all, 0% DNFs for EPOS is crazy. Yeah. I mean, absolutely wild to have that across the entire mixed solo tournament. But Bozbez also beating out EPOS slightly in terms of the eCircuit Mania, like, driver ranking, the driver rating.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. Boz played incredibly, incredibly well throughout the entire tournament. I mean, sailed through the upper bracket the entire time, and arguably had a better final until the last few rounds, where EPOS just absolutely dialed in. Won, I think it was 3 rounds on the bounce, and won because of it. You know, if it was just a normal point tally, like who gets to 100 first, then Boz would have won that. So I think they're very even, and I think it's going to be really nice to see them together because they've always wanted to play a duo event together, but for various reasons, it's just never really been right. So yeah, I think we're probably both really excited to actually get to play this together because they're really good mates as well.
Going to be super fun to watch that team. There's some very strong teams up against them as well. One team we don't have a graphic for formal, but we are excited to see play. Binks and Otak is a scary lineup coming out of France.
It is. It's a very scary one, and I gotta give credit to the French. I kind of want to save that for like G Geek when he gets on, because I know he's going to be ready to roll with them. And as much as I want to put my attention on it, I'm actually looking at Germany. Not to pivot you away from France, but I'm looking at Germany. Like, let's not forget that they had 3 of like 4 of their 4 players make the semifinals, got stuck in that same heat. A bit unfortunate there. All 4 of them made it deep. Massa as well in the solo almost had like that amazing lower bracket run. This team is scary, and if anyone is going to beat the British, I'm leaning on these guys. Plus, I think Grenadier's no longer sick. I think he's ready to go. He's finally healthy, and that's a scary thing to see.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit spooky. I mean, Grenadier and Massa, we know how good these guys are, right, Twiggy? I mean, when it comes to World Tour, this duo has done incredibly well. I mean, they've been playing the duo format almost more, I think. They've more experience in this format than I think almost anyone else in the world.
Right, exactly. They've been playing under the big banner for a long time, right? And they've just been they've got so many good results under their belt already. I mean, you think back to all the Trackmania World Tours they played under, you know, Ascensions as well. These guys have what it takes, right? They just need to pull it together in the server this time around. It didn't work out for them in solos. Right at the end, not quite able to get it done. Maybe part of that is due to Grenadier's illness, although he's ill every event, it seems like. So I don't know. Maybe that's his superpower and he's going to be absolutely horrible today. Who knows? But yeah, no, I think this is definitely a team that could give GB a run for their money. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be scary. It wouldn't be shocked, I think, to see this Team Germany up against the Team GB of EPOS and Bozbez in the grand finals when that eventually ends up happening. But there are teams that could upset them. One of the other teams that I'm looking at that could potentially upset them on their way there is the other Team Germany. Right, you have the main big squad of Grenadier and Massa Padster, and then you have Leicester and New Prime, the big academy, but 2 players who also had their own deep runs into the bracket of the mixed solos.
Yeah, I mean, Leicester's one of the players who I think is someone to really keep an eye on, and I'd say like the last 12 months has really been a bit of a breakout time for them. I mean, brilliant result at XP Evo, making it, I think, into the top 8 or maybe top 6, if I remember correctly. New Prime as well has had some very, very good results. This is a potentially very scary and underrated lineup, and another lineup I will also bring up in a similar vein is the other Great Britain lineup of Pack and Josh.
Yeah.
And I think Germany and GB both have 2 lineups who will be gunning for the win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that, again, going back, you have the French lineup, Otax, Bink, you have Mudda's team coming in from Australia, of course. Is Carl Jr. playing in the mixed team? I don't even remember.
I believe so. I think
believe
it's Carl and
right?
Lingo.
With Lingo,
It's Carl, like the Canadian
that is a
squad of
good
Carl
team.
and Lingo.
Yeah,
It's
I
scary
mean, I
team
was
as
going to
well.
mention it earlier, but like, we don't have a graphic for that one, so.
Listen, we don't need graphics. We can call out good teams. I will say one of the things that scares me a little bit for France, Twiggy, is Gwen was by far their best performer in mixed solo, not participating in the mixed team.
No, exactly. I think obviously Otak and Binks have a little history together, right? So that's one team put together, and then it's Nako and Zera for the second team. So yeah, not finding a place in this one. Obviously, you can't just have infinite teams participate under mixed duos, otherwise it would be a little unfair. But yeah, it's. I think there are a couple of players that I'm sure people would have liked to have seen over every team that aren't going to be participating in the mixed duos. But still, it should be a great tournament anyway.
I think an important point. I think an important point with Gwen in particular is France have a limit of each player can only play in 2 events. So Gwen did mixed solo and then is on fast learn, and Gwen is an absolute demon on fast learn. So I think it's not that he would have made the France squad. He definitely would have made a mixed Euro squad. I think they prioritized him when we reckon you can get us more points in fast learn. And I think that was probably the right call.
Yeah, it's something, Padster, we've not talked a huge amount about on the broadcast, but that, yeah, these larger nations, your Germanys, your Frances, your Great Britons, which had larger player bases, had limits to the amount of events each player could participate in, just because the player base was larger, trying to get as many people involved as possible. And so decisions had to be made. Who does what event as well? And we're getting to a point now, I think by the end of today, by the end of this weekend, we'll be starting to see whether or not countries have made the right decision. So far, it feels easy to say, yeah, GB have made good decisions, right? Balls and Epos 1-2 in mixed solo, and now they're playing mixed duo as well. Great, ideal, fantastic. You have Josh for full speed, but I mean, France, maybe some questions. Germany, maybe some questions, and we'll see when we get to the end of the day. For now, we are going to get ready. We're going to throw it on over because seeding for the mixed duo is about to begin. I'm going to recuse myself from watching this one. I'm going to leave the three of you to it. Enjoy it. Mixed duo starts today.
Thank you very much, Nua. All right. Oh, I'm in the middle for this one. Okay, I've swapped
moved
around
around.
places. Yeah, I thought I'd be on the left on. No, either way, this is going to be a really, really good one. Obviously, when we watched mixed solos, it was amazing. I can't imagine it's going to get any worse from here on out. It's just a seeding to start off with, but we're going through pretty much the whole event here, so you don't want to miss any of this. If you are around right now, stick around the whole time.
Yeah, and I mean, even the seeding has potential to get dramatic again. There's only so many spots, so many teams can get through. And I mean, we were going through so many powerhouses. We didn't even like touch on Czechia. We didn't touch on USA. So there's still a lot of teams that kind of sneak their way in there. Again, I kind of predicted upsets last time, and it did happen. Argentinian, superstar driver actually didn't get through past the seedings in the solo stage before. Of course, I am referencing... Why did I blank on the name? Noisia, obviously. Didn't get through, and that was a bit of a shock. And I want to see them get through this time. So yeah, I'm excited to get into this.
Was that Nua that put that up? We have started highlighting chat messages. Why are you wearing sunglasses, Formal, before we start seeding?
Because I have been in front of a monitor for like the past 9 hours doing another broadcast before this one, and my eyes are bloodshot and in pain, and I'm just trying to protect them. Yeah, it's been...
Very understandable. It's not because you're Mike Posner and you think you're cooler than us. That's fine.
No, like, look, if I take this off, like, you could kind of see, like, we're sunken in. Actually, it's not that bad.
You look amazing. You actually look like you have natural mascara on. Oh. It's very cool.
Yeah, okay, they're back on, we go.
Oh, okay. Oh, toxic masculinity here on the Trackmania stream. That's fine. I think we have seeding. We can cover it up anyway.
All I'm saying is I've had passport photos taken. We're like, no, we can't use this. Your eyes are too sunken.
Wow. Ladies and Twiggy wearing sunglasses. Nua, do you want to put that one up on screen for us? Or
yeah.
Are you saying that my eyes aren't pretty? That's really not. That's rude. I can't wait. We're going to get into it very shortly. Pads, I mean, is there any other team that you want to highlight? Because obviously we've gone through all the ones that we have graphics for. We've gone through some of the underdogs. Are there any like full-on underdogs that you are interested in watching here in seeding? Because there are plenty of teams that have entered this event. There are plenty of teams, unfortunately, that only have one member and cannot enter mixed duos. But there are plenty of teams with 2 or 3 members that have entered this.
Yeah, for me, team I want to keep an eye on is definitely Ireland. They have unfortunately just missed out on qualifying for every event so far. They had two players miss out by like 10 places in mixed solo. I think they missed out by 2 places in tech team. And they have good players in Ireland. I think they might be the like highest scoring team who haven't qualified for anything so far. And they have a really strong lineup, in my opinion, for their mixed duo. I think it's Liffy and Babs on their main team. I would love to see them at least qualify. They deserve it for how good they are as players.
Well, it looks like they're in this lobby here. You can see Liffy down there in number 14. Plenty of players to choose from if you're looking around on this one, but I think our eyes are mostly going to be on that leaderboard, the live ranking on the left side, because that's where you're going to get most of your information through this sea of players.
Yeah, and you're very happy right now if you're kind of pulling for the Canadian side. You know Lingo and Carl Jr. would be strong. Well, they're looking 1 and 3 strong right now. Germany up there as well with the Letzer and Nupram team. Very, very strong showing. And because of the nature of this format as well with the seeding, it is kind of like each player getting their best 8 times, and then you kind of average between the 2 sides. So you really do need both players to step up consistently get those top scores, and you don't want to lose out because your teammate wasn't able to keep up.
Yeah, obviously
Definitely
we
not.
get. I chose the exact same point to butt in there. That was amazing.
We're great
Really-
at this. We're great at this.
Yeah. No, no,
I
just
thought
imagine we have the
I had
exact
been
same
disconnected. I thought
Exact
you guys
same
were
brain
playing
I was
Frank.
really thinking of what to come up with next on that one. I was just taking a look at the actual rules for the seeding rounds, right? So it's 10 rounds per track on this one, and top 64, I believe, are qualified out of this. So, and then they go straight into the double elimination bracket, of course, which we will be watching right after this.
Yeah, and I think a very important thing to remember with that format is because you have your bottom 2 rounds dropped. Obviously, we were just looking at Liffy and Kajihu there. They're gonna have to drive fairly clean from now on because they're gonna want this round to be dropped. If this gets counted, that's gonna be a disaster for their overall average.
Get 2.
So
Everyone gets 2. You get 2 mistakes per map, and the rest are clean. So as long as you're hitting 80% clean runs, you should be good, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
I think so.
I mean,
mean,
there'll be
that is
plenty
the
of ways
math.
you
Why
don't
not?
manage.
That is 8 out of 10. That is the correct
Yeah.
math. So I would hope that'd be the case. Actually, it's the French right now who are looking in first place overall. And let's be honest too, it's not just surviving this. You do want the good seeding because yeah, double elimination bracket, maybe if you get a bad matchup, you can survive it, but you don't want that. You want the easiest matchup possible. You want the best run you can possibly get because if you struggle here, if you barely get by, guess what? You're going to be against UK. You're going to be against Germany in that first round. And that's not a good place to be.
Currently, Leicester and New Prime up at the front here. We have some representatives from other sides as well. Lingo, as per usual, staying up towards the top. Kebby gets a little wheel touch there. Drops back for Sweden. Again, it is neck and neck, and neck and neck and neck and neck and neck all the way here up at the top here. Thomas Schoen making a run for Switzerland, and Ado Tamar up for Israel as well. So plenty of good times being put up, and we may be seeing some, you know, kind of dark horses come on through.
I mean, Switzerland is a team we hadn't mentioned. Afi and Thomas Schoen, that is a very, very strong lineup. And it feels, particularly in the case of Afi, not a player we've seen a lot of recently. But Afi obviously got so close to that World Championship back in 2023 alongside Mime. One very infamous moment, denying them the opportunity to reach the final.
Oh,
And so, yeah, Switzerland, definitely another one to keep an eye on. There's so many teams to keep an eye on. I feel like I keep seeing names like, oh, we need to keep an eye on them. And remembering there aren't actually that many slots.
and this is
Yeah.
only one pool. Like
Yeah,
this is
exactly.
just one of the 4 pools. So like every pool is star-studded. It's why when you're watching, like I did go back and I watched some of like the streamers' perspectives and like how they were going and trying to qualify, and they're more nervous in the seeding than they are in their first matches because at least in the double elimination you have that cushion. Even if you kind of bomb out that first round, that's okay. You can try to make that lower bracket run. In this, you can have good times and still not make it. You can make a couple unfortunate mistakes and you're done before the tournament really even begins. So especially for a lot of those players who are expecting to be on the bubble, this is going to be the most nervous part of the day.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I think everybody, when there is, you know, it's a double elimination bracket, and while obviously any bracket is nerve-wracking, I think when it's double elimination, you have that very quantifiable. Okay, I can screw up once. We can be eliminated once, and we're back down into that one. In this seeding part, you need to stay above that line the whole time. Which, yes, it's a relatively low line compared to the amount of players that are in the lobby with you, but you know, it is a. If we are below this, we are out by the end of the 3 maps.
For the smaller countries as well, like the teams that maybe have less people, that this is their chance too. Like, and it would be really unfortunate if like some of these smaller countries too can't get in that main event and they come in, they do the seeding, that's it, nothing further from there. Like there's that bit of pride. Like you've been training these maps, you've been working it, you've been trying to get, you know, your best times possible, and then to not get that opportunity, I don't know. I'm getting depressed, man. Why are we talking about the? Let's talk about the successes. Let's talk about who's doing well right now. Look at Germany go. Aren't they looking great? Letzer out in front. Man, is he fast.
Yeah, and of course, this is only one of the German teams as well. Grenadier and Massa are going to be in a different lobby doing their own thing too, and I'm sure they're doing just as well, right? I think if one German team is doing well, the other one is probably also up there. Lingo and Carl Jr. also with great times. This is the cumulative, of course, time up there. Lingo and Carl Jr. still on top, but Russia right behind.
Yeah, I think we can't see Germany currently because I think Leicester DNF'd a round, which is going to break how it shows in the scoreboard in the match. So I would suspect that Germany in reality are first at the moment. But yeah, so that's why they're not showing up. Another team who are doing well, though, who we haven't mentioned, is Finland, Miquattro and Clear Vision. I'll be intrigued to see if they can make a bit of a deep run because those are two kind of very good players. And they're looking very well trained in seeing they're keeping up with Otak, Binks, Leicester, New Prime, these top players who we've talked about. And I'm consistently seeing the Quattro and or Clear Vision kind of in my top 5 each round.
We have seen a couple of rounds where the Finnish players have been towards the back. But yeah, right now it's looking like Miquattro, obviously recognize him from Challengers League. He's well up at the top with the big dogs up there, right behind Nitek. Australia making a run as well. Carl Jr. right behind. So it's a star-studded round. I mean, one player from every team, it looks like, getting up at the top there. And, well, when we put it back this way, yeah, I mean, it's difficult to see exactly where we are in the cumulative times, I think, with some of the DNFs going on.
Yeah, I don't know how accurate those are. Of course, at the end, we will get the full picture. Because you also don't know how the other pools are going, right? We don't know how those other lobbies are going. And you're not just competing against this lobby. You are competing against everybody. So, like, this is one of those lobbies where I wouldn't be surprised if, like, half the teams in this one get through. Because it is that stacked as it looks. But you never know. You're competing against so many different teams right now to get through. Got to be consistent. Have to be fast. And I'm also trying to keep my eyes open for new tech because we did discover that last time as well. We actually started seeing the implementation of like a couple new tricks, on this track in particular. You had that wall bonk going into the U-turn at the start, which, only 1 or 2 people were doing. Haven't seen too much of it this time around, so maybe drivers have realized that's not the fastest way to go, but everybody has now had an extra week on these tracks to hone it in, be more precise, find their correct lines, and I expect the times to be faster this time around than it was in the solo.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with that new trick. I have very little doubt that new trick is significantly faster. But it is a bit more risky, so we might not be seeing people going for it in seeding because this is a very consistency-heavy seeding format. You have to get 8 really good rounds. And if you're driving into a single brick to try and spin your car around, you got to have a lot of confidence and say, yeah, I can do that 8 out of 10 rounds and also not crash anywhere else on the track. So I don't think many players are going for it just because the risk isn't worth it in seeding. I reckon once we get into match, we'll definitely be seeing most of the top teams going
just
for it.
Get eight safe runs in and then do it around 9 and 10.
True.
Yeah, absolutely.
Create your cushion. Create the cushion to lay on. Everyone needs, what is it, like you make the bed you sleep on, or whatever the phrase is? That's what you got to do. Make a well-made bed and then put a brick in it, and your time will be faster. Sleep on that brick.
That's what they say. Yeah, I think that's actually a well-known phrase. I've heard it quite a lot.
I use it constantly.
Yeah.
Telling people sleep on that brick.
Right.
Sleep on that brick.
So I think that is now all 10 rounds for this map done. We're going to switch to a different lobby for the next one. And we'll take a look at everybody else, right? I think, as you said, right, that is a stacked lobby, but every lobby is stacked so far. So the next one we're going to look at is probably just as, well, if not even more incredible. So I'm looking forward to seeing what other players stand out so far.
I love sleeping with a brick as my pillow. Thank you.
There you go.
Somebody gets it. Somebody got it in chat. They understood.
We've got the other Germans.
Oh. And they're also in the front.
To the shock of no one. Yeah, to the shock of absolutely no one. They're first and second.
I think Germany is going to do okay in this tournament.
I don't want this tournament to turn into like, you know, the big three just fighting with each other every single time.
I mean, that's how the Olympics is.
Yeah, I guess, but normally Germany and France, or actually no, sorry, it's the UK that's not normally in the big three. I feel like you guys have kind of replaced the states.
we kind of hover between 4th and 3rd, I think, right?
You're usually fighting with us.
Yeah.
You're usually fighting with Australia for whatever you can get for the scraps.
The best of the rest, right? That's the issue. It's the big three and then everyone else.
Well, I do think though that in a lot of ways, yeah, the big three have been stepping up, but there are still big names on those other countries as well, right? So I can't really say yes, the big three are going to win every single event, although it is looking like if you are from Germany or rooting for these German teams, you're very happy what you've seen so far. I do want to see some more of those upsets, some more of those bigger names on the smaller countries step up and get those big performances. I do like seeing Bestie right now towards the front. That's pretty cool to see. A little more of that.
Yeah, Hill and Bestie, brothers, actually. And they've played a lot of duos together. I think they were in both of the TML Tour playoffs last year. And I think maybe made top 8 in at least one of them. They are a very good lineup. And I wouldn't put them down as, you know, really having a chance of winning. No disrespect to them. But I could see them getting like top 8, getting some serious points for Czechia there. And the other Czech team is not bad either. I mean, it's got Elkon, who made the finalist in
exactly.
in it.
Yeah, keep in mind, Czechia, got 3rd in the mixed solo event. So if they can keep stacking up kind of good points, it's going to be a really, really good time for them. They'll get a lot out of mixed.
I'm excited to see what both of those teams can do, because I think that they might be the dark horse country in this event for a lot of ways. I mean, it's hard to call Elkon a dark horse again, but that's just the nature of like the team events. Also, congratulations on the signing. I saw that was some big news for Elkon, so big news for Trackmania as well. Hoping to see more names get signed like that. Want to see things grow, but there's so many like teams that you can be like, yeah, I can see these guys actually doing a good run, or these guys, if they're playing on form, they might be able to make, you know, a surprise top 8 or top 6 appearance, right? Which makes this format so much fun. So all I'm hoping is we don't get like a Germany or a UK final. As long as we get 2 separate countries in the final, everything is good.
Yeah, I would hate it if we got a double GB
so
final. Oh, it would be an
no.
awful experience.
God.
Yeah, that would
Ack
be so
and
rough.
Josh versus Bosbez and Epos. Oh no.
I would hate watching that. It would be absolutely
Horrific.
awful.
I think this is why no British team should make the final. That right there
Just 'cause we'll
is the
gloat?
biggest argument. Yeah, just because you'll gloat.
Just
you'll be super impressed.
because we've got too many Brits on the broadcast, because it's an English-speaking broadcast and our voices sound really, really nice. Oh my god. We're such a horrible, horrible nation.
Where's Geek? I was told Geek was going to be here. Where is he?
Oh, you think the French are better?
I just need something to help balance this out right now, all right?
Oh
like, I'm an Australian with an American accent. I'm doomed from the start. So I need all the help I can get right here. Get me back Noah Layok, all right? Yeah, he'll help me. The Irish
the Irish will put us down pretty quick. That's fair.
Yeah,
you know, if there's
that's
one nation that has our number, it's probably Ireland. We can switch to another server now. I think the first map is probably done on every server at this point, so we'll be able to switch to another server, switch to another map, and take a look at what's going on elsewhere. I mean, we really don't have an idea of how the standings are so far, but we can get a pretty good idea based on what we've been seeing so far, and that is mostly, I've seen mostly Germany, I've seen a bit of France, I've seen a good amount of Russia up near the top as well. We saw the Finland team from Equatro up there as well. We saw Czechia doing well. We have not seen any Team GB yet so far, to be fair.
Not yet.
Plus
But
3 and 4.
Hopefully that's just because we weren't in their lobbies.
fingers crossed. If we were, and that's how it's going, then
that's not looking good.
We aren't winning overall.
Hey, I'm okay with the Ashes all over again, but no, they are in groups 3 and 4. All right, that is where they're hanging out. So we'll see them for the second half of the seeding. Don't worry, we'll get there. But As it stands right now, yeah, it does feel like the favorites are out in front and nothing too dramatic yet. Of course, we won't really notice somebody crashing and burning, I think, until we see those final results, right? Like, I don't, unless someone has been really meticulous and being like, but you guys didn't notice that Grenady only made it in the top 10 6 of the 10 times, and he's actually 2 tracks down. Then maybe something will happen. But I didn't catch.
You guys think I'm paying attention? Oh no,
no, you're like about to
You're
fall
gonna try to
asleep.
stay awake.
Hey, I'm trying my best out here. I'm really doing my best. This is why we need to keep the conversation moving. We need to keep the topics going. We need to see some more Trackmania on my screen, see some more cars going fast. That tends to keep me awake. So there you go. We're moving on to a new map here.
There aren't any cars moving fast yet, but hopefully.
Yeah, I was going.
Hey,
Oh, there they
we
are
go.
moving real
Oh,
fast.
so
Look
many
at that.
cars.
Cinema,
Oh, wow.
cinema.
Well, okay.
Who is that? Oh no, Italy! What's going on?
Just Ferrari things, all right? Just Ferrari things. Didn't get out the starting gate. That's fine.
That was just bad. That was the race engineer. We need you to come into pit. Pit now.
Well, no, because remember the safety car always starts behind the pack, right? The safety car is always back there in case someone crashes to help them out. That's all it was. It's okay.
Yeah.
No one. It wasn't somebody forgetting to start. This is. I'm seeing British drivers. I believe we're in Pool 3.
Yes.
We
Josh
are,
and
we
Pat
are.
for the Brits. Looks like Norway doing incredibly well here as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've hopped into this server. There's immediately 3 teams that I completely forgot to mention in any kind of build-up. But I think that shows the quality. There are so many teams. I feel like I've listed off half of the teams who are going to make top 32 as potentially, making top 8. And there's another 3 in here as well I haven't mentioned yet. So
Netherlands.
Sinks and Levon, very strong. Alex and stuff, I think they both made top 12. Maybe both made top 12, I think. So in solos, they're coming in quite good. And then another interesting team to keep an eye on is Tobacco and Rixo. Rixo having a really strong lower bracket run and knocking out a couple of far better known players. So Hungary, I feel like they're a bit of a wild card, but they could do well as well. So yeah, there's just so many teams. The quality in this tournament is absolutely insane.
What we are hoping to see. I mean, it's why it's been put together. It's why we get to showcase all of these nations, all of these drivers in a setting that's, not. What is this, like, Liquipedia called this, like, a B-class tournament? It has, like, all the names of an A-class one?
Prize pool. It always comes down to prize pool.
This is
They get real medals!
Yeah, how much do
well more.
Well, how much do those medals cost? Let's figure this out.
Yeah, they're actually printed out on
at least 2K per gold medal, right? Maybe 3K.
Oh yeah,
solid cost, which
yeah.
I'm sure they are.
And we will
So-
hold Gear 5 to that.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is you got to add that to the
one.
prize pool, and then you think about every event. All right, so that's like the teams, that's
I'm
about
part,
like.
Hey guys, I'm just saying, I'm part of the Team GBR club on Trackmania, so I better get one as well. I'm part. Like, if you're on the sub bench, if you're part of the World Cup winning team and you're on the sub bench, you still get a trophy. So,
No, all I'm saying is you add that.
Get a medal.
You should. And you should also add that to the prize pool to bump this up to like S tier.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
saying. You can't verify how much these medals cost. Trust me, there are a lot of zeros for and a lot of prize pool. So let's get that up there.
Trackmania inflation. Don't look it up.
Yeah. All you need is just one person to buy a medal for like a ridiculous price, and then they're all worth that price. That's all you need. We just need one crazy person to A, sell their medal, and then B, buy it for an enormous
Please
amount.
don't sell the Trackmania Games medals. Do not.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely don't do it. I would not be one of people who'd be willing to buy one of them off you.
Yeah. Don't sell them unless it's to me.
Exactly. I'll look after it, Take care.
This is what happens when we don't have any concrete results to look at. We're looking at 32 cars driving fast. We don't know who's in what position. We don't know who's in what position overall. We can't make any actual conclusions. What is that skin?
That is the
Divino's
ugliest car
skin.
I've ever seen.
It's beautiful.
I like hot pink as much as the next person, but come on now.
Everyone's telling me I just need to turn down my monitors because it's too bright. That's why my eyes are hurting, and nothing is going to
I've
dampen
got a
that
headache
car. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. That's the flashbang right there.
Yeah,
Well,
Davinia has to play with that all the time, though. Just imagine any time you boot up the game and you're just illuminated by pink. That would be tricky to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now he's probably so used to it, he can't drive unless he's like got, permanent retina damage of a pink blotch in his eye. That's the only way how he can compete, man.
It's like when you look at the sun and you've just got that block in your eyes that doesn't ever go away. Yeah.
You're not meant to do that,
India putting up a good time there as well. Again,
Yeah,
I am looking at these teams to cause some upsets, right? To push teams like, I don't know, USA down into the bottom brackets.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah,
go
I
down
mean, Spark and Iridium are two decent players, and I think India was perhaps a bit of a surprise qualification to Tech Team. Kind of looking at some of the teams that didn't make it, and India making it was a very pleasant surprise for them. So I think it'd be very cool if we could see Spark and Iridium make it into that top 32.
From what we've seen, they certainly have a chance.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
I
sure.
completely agree with what Max was saying earlier. Apart from the fact that I kind of made fun of it, that I do not want it to be, the top three teams competing against each other. I do want to see some contenders that do cause some upsets and then get into the kind of medals, the podiums up at the top. I would like a close race to the very end, right? We still have another week to go after. We've only just started the second week. We've got another week to go after this one as well before the closing ceremony wraps things up. And, plenty of Trackmania to still be played. Plenty of opportunities for more teams to get out ahead. It is not said and done with, France, Germany, and Team GB at the top three.
Okay, I know, he didn't win that round, but the line Elcon took at the end right there just moved him from 12th to 4th, and he almost sniped the win. That was actually sick. So we are still seeing people try and send it even in these seeding stages, even when they have the pace to stay safe. Yeah, they still want to get those best times possible. I do love seeing that. I also kind of love seeing that, others were still faster. This is, I think drivers are now starting to get more comfortable, more cozy, and really starting to push.
That's exactly what you want to see. And I think a part of that is can't hide strats in the mixed solo, right? You can't play those offline. So when we did get that done last week, as we kind of saw with Team GB going for the bonk strat on the first map that we saw, more and more of these lines are becoming, first off, just obviously better driven because they've had more time to practice it over the last week, but also just, you get to see those top players, the top 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 players up at the top there and learn a bit from them, right? That's why there's a GPS on every track of the day, is that, you can learn from watching players, and especially when Josh is putting up these times consistently, that's a player you need to learn from.
Oh, and good
yeah.
stuff so far.
Yeah, for sure.
We got one more lobby.
Yeah, one more lobby to check out, and we should see Boz and Epos in that one. I'm hoping. We haven't seen them so far.
We're not trying to highlight Team GB. It's just, to be fair, those were number 1 and 2 in mixed solos, so we're allowed to sing their praises a little bit. They are the kind of players that we are looking at for this one. Obviously, you can see Epos holding the world record on this map as well, and you can see already well out ahead along with Bozpez. It's not too surprising, we'll be completely honest here, but there are other players that we're looking at here that are doing quite well, right? Spain is not a team that we have in our sights to be a top contender so far. Obviously we expect them to do well, but in the opening ceremony, I believe when we reached out to the players for statements, Spain, Rob RS, and DRC, so completely different players, was basically like, we I hope to do quite well as an individual player. I don't know, he didn't say anything about the team, but it kind of gave the impression that they didn't expect Spain to be a top contender. So if they do manage to get some good results in these bigger events, they could do very well for themselves, right? All it takes is one really good result and you're well up there in the medals table.
Nice shout out that we didn't mention the Norway team either, which was a bit of a mistake because this team looks pretty stacked too. Kvik and Smiley Bob. Smiley Bob in particular, again, one of the better performing players we kind of seen so far out there. So another team that can make the runs. And every time I see him driving, I always forget he's actually good at this game. SRK in this lobby as well. Absolutely sending it. And that's good to see. That's good.
Yeah, definitely someone more known as a tournament organizer, but actually was a very good player.
I'm not sure the words "I forget he's good at the game" is quite the way you would want to hear it, but yeah.
Perhaps most,
I understand why you said it.
but...
I think the wording could have been a little better.
I keeping it honest, all right?
Either way. Yeah, Team GB staying well out in front. I mean, these are the two players that you're expecting to get 1-2s all the way to the very end here. They will be definitely into the next, into the double elimination bracket. We are looking at everybody else. We saw, I think Matt from Brazil was putting in chat a little bit of gripe with the finish of this specific track, and I think you can see in this round they were both at the bottom of the table there.
Yeah, another team that I can't not mention, slightly because I know one of these people a bit better, is Key and Neon for Poland. I'm so curious how they get on because they are two very, very different personalities. Key is a tech player, primarily has been around since I want to say the TM2 days, has been a consistently kind of strong player. And Neon has kind of burst into the scene in the last 2 years, is a lot younger. And it's just such a contrast of players. There are a few teams where you've got like one new player who's come onto the scene and then someone who's been around for 10 years. I mean, one of GB teams, of course, Josh and Pack is an example of that. And yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how those teams get on, especially in a duos format, where you do need to have a little bit more communication with each other.
You know, actually, in the last lobby we were watching, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt too much, but
go.
It's Team G we were talking about here. Well, when we were looking at Josh and Pack there, Josh was definitely the player who was well out ahead compared to Pack. I do wonder if that was a practice diff in this specific scenario, but I know that Josh is probably the kind of player that would be grinding this a lot and has held world records on these 3 maps quite heavily over the course of mixed solos as well. So he was pretty consistently up in first place, where Pack was kind of down in, the 10th, 12th kind of area.
Yeah, I don't think Pack necessarily has a reputation for putting the most time into maps ahead of things. The amount of times where he's dropped into the lower bracket very early on and then proceeded to just run through the entire tournament. Yeah. It's like each match he plays, he gets a bit scarier.
Italy.
Italy.
I'm
clearly cheering on the team because.
What about? Yeah, maybe.
Look at Eagprim rising up the rankings. I mean.
Yeah, but it could also be someone who's just like shaking their fist at the air. Italy.
Well, it wouldn't be shaking a fist. It'd be shaking the You know exactly what I'm doing. We don't have to show our cameras. You know exactly what I'm doing with my
I can see it on your camera, and yeah, it's exactly what you think.
You know exactly what it is. That's not like a bad stereotype, right? I'm okay to do that. I don't know. Maybe I need to counterbalance it by I don't know, doing something horrible towards Brits.
I just want to break conversation real quick before we jump in. Padster, you are dressed amazingly today.
Yeah.
I feel so. I'm in a t-shirt, sunglasses, and you're out here, vest, tie, looking clean. My goodness, man.
It was a joke that very much got out of hand. My very first stream I did, I think, was British Irish Pro League's second stream to about 5 viewers, maybe. And 3 of us who did it, we'd all never cast before, had no idea what we're doing. Like, we're going to be better than the mainstream. And I want to say it was probably Nua and Orion on there. You might have even been on mainstream at that point, Twiggy. I can't quite remember.
Maybe.
Yeah,
And we thought, we're going to do this properly, so we all turned
That's
up in
great.
suits. And the other two did a little bit more casting, but didn't really like heavily pursue it. And I did, but I just kind of continued that joke and just turned up in a suit
Yeah.
to everything, and now it's
Nice.
just kind of a staple. I'm meant to be in a suit.
I fully support it. I thought when it's warmer, when it's summer, I do usually go for like a linen shirt, so I do look a little more formal then. Mind the excuse the pun. But yeah, it's winter. I'm gonna be comfy. I can't lie.
I'm gonna be real. It is currently like nearly midnight here, and it's still pushing 30. I ain't wearing more layers. You can't.
Ain't we all pushing 30? Ain't we all?
I've passed that. You can see the gray
Aw.
in my hair. Yeah. It's going back to the point you were making before. How does this old guy team up with, some Zoomer kid?
Ah, true.
Mute him.
Basically.
Just mute him. Just mute him. That's what I would do. Let me focus.
Don't listen to him. I don't want to hear those 6-7s and those.
Exactly.
I don't even know what the other
Throwing me
stuff
off.
going on right now.
Nah, I don't know. What's a Rizzler? I don't
Phantom
know.
tax.
Mute.
Oh my god. Either way.
Too many big booms. Too many.
I feel like
booms.
that's got to be at least 2 years old at this point. I don't know.
Oh, as I said, gray in my hair, man.
Look, hey,
I've already
Trackmania has
gone.
never been a game for the kids. It's whatever. They can join. They can join. The old heads are still here. They're dominating the scene still. So, hey, until they catch up, they can't inject their memes.
Yeah, I'm definitely not getting flashbacks to Trent on track last year, where I think during the semi-final of the event, kind of big prize for a big tier 1 event, one of the first lands in the UK. Acros holds up Italian brain rot to the camera on the player cam, just gets it up on its phone, holds it up and proceeds to crash the next round, and did not make it through that match.
I saw like a Twitch comment a while ago that was like, man, this would be so good if they got all of the players on LAN, and I'm like, no, it wouldn't. No, it would not. Imagine over 600 players sat there on LAN, language barriers left, right, and center. Just the amount of chaos. It would be horrific. An actual Trackmania Olympic Village.
The heat in the room that all the computers are in.
The smell.
Oh!
You just got hit by a wave of it, like telepathically. Oh.
That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah. Hey, someday maybe we'll make it happen. We get the budget going. Let's do it. Fly in the Maldives.
I mean, if they could do a Fortnite one, right? Where you get like the 64-person battle royale stuff, you could get that Trackmania. You could do a cup of the day LAN. I reckon that would be.
I think that would be cool. Yeah, just for one day, get tons of get what? I mean, how many people generally get in a cup of the day? Right, like 4,000 nowadays, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody, one room,
and
like
then
sardines.
Exactly, and when you lose, you get locked in the heat.
Oh,
you
right.
have to win to escape. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, there's a lever that you can drop players into like a lava pit once they get eliminated. Really set the stakes high.
Well, Trackmania beats Squid Game now. Is that what's
Yeah,
going
basically.
on?
It's called the Trackmania Games. It's just
Do
the
we have-
Trackmania version of the Squid Game.
Do we have a Korean team in this? I don't think we do.
I don't think we have
believe we
any
do.
East Asian representatives, actually. There's no...
We do,
We do. We have Singapore. We have
Oh, yeah, true.
Singapore.
No, that is
Christian,
true,
who
yeah.
is a
Well, Hong Kong
solid
as well.
player as well.
We have Hong Kong.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Cal Wilson from there. It's a good player.
Typical Northern Hemisphere trying to deny
Hey,
the
whoa, whoa,
Southern
whoa, whoa,
Hemisphere
whoa.
teams from
Hold
existing.
on. Hey, most of East Asia is in the Northern Hemisphere.
Over the hemisphere, yeah.
Hold on a second. Southeast
Not
Asia is in
Southeast
the
Asia.
Southern Hemisphere.
Southeast Asia has
We are
South
not
in it.
talking
Korea-
about Southeast Asia here. I was talking about East Asia. Korea, China, Japan. Come on now. That's what I was
but they're I don't.
referencing
Yeah,
here. The big
Then
three.
the big three. The other
Actually,
big three.
a large portion. Noah makes a good point. A large portion of Southeast Asia is also Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
Well,
Really, I don't.
Australia
the way
is an
we refer
island,
to-
and geography doesn't matter. I'm adopting them as part of the
really,
Southern
the
Hemisphere.
further away you get from Europe, the worse English naming conventions for regions, like, is right. We've got Central Asia, South Asia, East Asia, Southeast Asia. Oh, I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah.
if it's any
Blame
consolation,
our-
like naming schemes within the UK could also be bad. So there is a city
Yeah,
called
that's true.
Southampton. Where do you think Southampton is?
It's where I am.
Yeah, it's south coast of England. Makes complete sense.
And it's
so
the
by
most
that logic,
northern part of the south coast, by the way.
But you know, it is still south coast of England. So therefore,
It
by
is.
that logic, where do you think Northampton is?
It's in the middle. It's
It is-
right in the middle.
Yeah, it's in the centre of England.
Yeah, that's a good
Right.
point.
So
Why?
West Country is not particularly that
Where-
far west either,
So
no,
what
there
you're
is an
saying
entire
this is your
another
fault.
country.
and it's not a country. Yeah.
This is the British team's fault, is what you're telling me right now. Like, this is all the UK's fault. This is all the English language's fault. I'm blaming you. I'm holding
Yeah.
you two
Okay,
responsible.
okay, chat. Let's calm down now. Just because we named 3 countries out of the 67, it doesn't mean we've forgotten the rest of them. We just don't have the words. Calm.
If you're not one of the big 3, they don't care about you. That's all I'm hearing. If you're not one of or no, that's not true. Maybe the big 5 or 6, because
Yeah, exactly. We only care about Germany, France, and Team GB right now. Because they're the only ones on the podiums. You have to do better if you want us to recognize you. That's just how it is. Get better at Trackmania.
Netherlands got a podium. Czechia got a
No,
podium.
I mean the overall podium is what I meant.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If the British could steal Max Verstappen, they would.
I don't know where that came from.
remember Trackmania, that game we're meant to be talking about at least on
No.
occasion during this point?
No.
You know, I may try and drag us
I'm sorry.
ever so slightly
If
back on topic.
anybody
It's
in
seeding.
chat
It's
can tell
hard
me
to do
currently,
seeding.
if anybody currently can tell me some of the teams that are definitely in the elimination zone
True.
in this lobby or any of
True.
the other lobbies right now, then I will hold my hands up and say that we should be talking about the game more. But you can't, because we won't know until the end of seeding.
I mean, we could try to find people crashing and
Checkmate.
laugh at them, but that just feels like bullying.
That seems
Good point.
mean. Let's not
Yeah,
do that.
that's what I'm saying. That seems like bullying. We shouldn't do it, but we could.
We could. Yeah, so you should count your lucky stars is what you mean.
Exactly. We're being professional.
No, we're not.
I think
not tell
professional's
such
the
a
last
lie.
thing we're being. This is what happens when
Yeah.
you get. This is the problem with the trio cast. This is the problem with the trio cast. It's why
I
we're
think this
only
is a-
doing a trio cast for the seeding. Don't worry, guys. It'll get
Yeah.
more normal.
I mean, yes, it will.
You didn't sound convinced.
No, you have an Australian on cast. So even if he sounds like an American, you're in trouble. That's all I'm saying. We're having fun here though. Letzer's having a lot of fun right now. This is actually shaping up to be a bit of a monster time out in front.
Yeah.
Having to look at what the world record is. I don't think it's world record pace, but this one could be close if he keeps it clean.
Well, it seems like
Although,
everybody else
I'm-
is catching up currently. and the
Yeah,
leader
big
right
slow
behind
back
both
and
I don't
French
think he
players.
kept it
The French
clean.
are coming. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, very good times all around from the top there, though. But that's kind of what we're expecting at this point, especially from the players who were either involved in mixed solo or involved in helping with the mixed solo players, right? They've had so much time at this point to learn those lines and get them down pat. That we are expecting the big teams that have had a lot of time to practice to be really, really consistent with that now.
Yeah, I mean, they've had another week to learn
Yeah.
all the tricks on these tracks, and nothing is going to be hidden anymore. So I'm hoping it leads to some closer rounds as we get later in to the tournament. We're going to have less cases of like a team winning, not necessarily because they're better players, but because they knew a strategy. I don't think that happened much last weekend, but it certainly won't happen at all this weekend and next weekend as we go through mixed duos.
Kind of watching right now who more of these front runners are. This is it's
Bingo
important to pay
looking good.
attention to the top ones. Hey, look, Mudda's actually like in the top 5 for once. I wonder how long that will last, but Yeah, not long.
Not long. Not
dang
long.
it.
I'm sorry. It's not going well.
Well,
Oh,
you
up
know.
6. That's a chance.
Yeah.
Why do you guys
No.
do this? You guys want us to talk about the game? We're just going to curse everyone.
I tried.
As soon as we
tried.
mention the game. See?
I got excited for once in my life, and look what happens.
Oh, man.
Good for Germany, though.
We were looking
I'm happy
for a
for
job,
Germany.
and then you found a job. And heaven knows you're miserable now.
Oh, man. Chat's yelling at me in all caps just because I said
Deserve
Mudda's
it.
name.
Yep.
True.
Oh, it is.
But this is why I don't respect Twitch chat.
Wonderful quote to live by at that point, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, every caster give a prediction for 4 countries going to the final and 1 team everybody thinks is going to the final but won't make it.
Ooh, that's fun.
They will
That's
go
fun.
last.
Okay,
so for-
I'll go first. This is just completely off the top of my head. I think 4 countries going to the final. I mean, only 2 will make the
Yeah,
final. but I'll
4
do it as, like,
4 players, but
Yeah,
yeah, two
yeah.
two
And,
countries.
no, I'd say like
for highlighting your own
countries
message,
to come like the top 4. I think both great British teams. I'd be disappointed if they don't get through. This is complete British bias, but I reckon both of them. I reckon we're gonna see one of the Germany teams will make it, and the other one I'd put as my surprise for not making it into that top 4.
Yeah.
But I really don't know which way round it's going to be. I'm going to say I think Grenadier and Master will make it, and I think people will be surprised that maybe New Prime and Leicester don't get top 4, and then I got to put Otak Binks in the top 4 as well.
I think we're actually on our
Newcomb
final
Leicester.
round of seeding.
We are.
I think
All right, so we gotta
yeah.
do these. We gotta do these calls quick. All right.
Yeah. Go.
We have not been talking about Canada enough. I think Canada's getting that top 4. I think both German teams are getting to that top 4, and that means only one British team is getting top 4.
Whoa.
And when I say one British team is getting top 4, they're staying top 4. They ain't getting a medal. I don't care which
Whoa.
one. But yeah, that's my call.
This is just anti-British bias.
It's good. It absolutely is. But it's going to be a Germany-Canada final. And I'm going with the
Poland,
lesser New Prime as the German team.
Switzerland, Norway, and Canada.
Ooh. Ooh.
The
Are you
thing
trying
is,
to go-
here's the
are you
fun
trying to
part.
go-
Everybody's gonna be like, ha ha ha, very funny. If I'm wrong about all of them, probably. If even one of them gets through, I'm a genius.
Well, I think Canada's a safer pick.
Okay,
Canada
Canada very much has a chance, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Still.
other 3, I'm less sure, and I think they're all nations that could pick up solid results. I think Norway
Exactly.
in particular, but I don't think Norway.
You think I'm trolling, but there's a possibility.
I'm
actually
not
like
so sure.
Anything's possible.
I also kind of really like that Swiss team. I would not be surprised if that Swiss team makes
Yeah,
top 4. The
honestly.
Afi, Thomas, Jin.
Yeah.
That one also is another one that I could see going top 4. Again, every team, I feel like there's an argument that could be made. They can get top 4, right? Like
Everybody wins in the Trackmania
every
games.
team.
Every team that qualify and win in the I don't know. It feels like there's 12 contenders for top 4. That's what I get. There's a lot of contenders.
Yeah,
for
I
top
mean, you're
4.
right. You're right.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Maybe not
I think
every team, but you know.
I think no matter what happens, we're gonna have a moment of going, oh, I expected them to get further than they did. You know, that's basically guaranteed just for quality of the players.
All right, guys, we have to throw it to a break now. We'll be back with the desk very shortly where we can take a look at the results of the seeding, but don't go anywhere because that will be very exciting to watch, I'm sure. Be right back. Bye-bye.